Alright, everyone. This is a subject I got into a conversation with my local comic book store owner. We were talking about celebrities getting into comics and how we kind of feel about that, and how you guys feel about it as well. I just want to get other people's thoughts and things. You want to do a video response or anything, feel free to do so. But how do we all feel about celebrities coming into comics? Well, for me personally, it doesn't bother me that much. As long as they're really kind of passionate about and they want to do something and kind of contribute to the comic book community. I know a lot of there have been a lot of celebrities who are geeks like Ryan Reynolds, and things of that nature. Who there's been bands who have worked with comic book artists and stuff before. Like I know Disturbed, they have a cover who's done by Tara McFarlane, and they did a video that was directed by Tara McFarlane. And different celebrities have worked in different comic book adaptations of movies, and they become fans of comics and stuff like that. And then we get people like Nick Simmons who kind of just trace and put a bad name on the comic book industry. But other than people like that, other than people like Nick Simmons, who I really hope he learned his lesson from what he did, and he can, I wouldn't mind giving him another chance, just as long as he learns his lesson and really has a passion for doing comics and not just doing it for a gimmick. Just because comic books are hot right now and people are getting into them, and stuff like that. But I think we as fans and us kind of aficionados and stuff like that, we kind of feel that if these celebrities are coming into our fandom, we kind of feel invaded. Like, what are these guys doing coming into comics? They have no business making a comic when they should be doing music videos and stuff like that. If an artist is an artist, he should be able to expand his artistic merit by doing other things like comics. If they have an interest in comics, well, then why not? I believe there was another band who did a comic. I can't remember, and he actually got an Eisner for it. I can't remember the guy's name, but there's been people who there's been musicians, there's been actors and stuff like that who have been doing comics lately. I know Tyrese Gibson, he did that comic Mayhem. I haven't read it yet, but he did a comic with Mayhem, called Mayhem, with the under the Image imprint. I know Antoine Fuqua and Wesley Snipes are doing a comic called, I think it's After Dark, if I'm not mistaken. They're doing a comic with Radical called After Dark, and stuff like that. And like I said, it doesn't bother me that much. I kind of welcome it, because if we can get more people in the comics, I see that as a good thing. Just as long as they're not using it as a I don't know, just because it's the end thing to do, Like, I really like celebrities who really are into the comic book scene and they really want to get into it, because they have a passion for it and they like, they just like the medium. And when we get stuff like that, that's a really good thing, because you get their fans coming into comics, and you got a whole new group of people who have just been introduced into the comic book world, and and they can kind of see what we have been raving about all these years, why we like it so much, and things of that nature. So there's something else I want to bring up as far as this subject goes. I really can't think of anything else. If I do, I think that's pretty much all I have to say as far as this subject is concerned. Oh yeah, I was gonna say about the comic book stores. Like when celebrities like take a guy like Kevin Smith. He's directing movies and stuff like that, and I know people are mad at him right now what he did with Batman. Having Batman take a piss on himself. Have a bladder problem or whatnot. Yeah, that was stupid. But he Kevin Smith has a comic book store. He opened a comic book store. He did that, and he kind of has his own. He's written a lot for, like I say, he's written Batman stuff, Daredevil, and now he's doing a Green Hornet series, and people like that, they kind of really get into comics, and they'll do anything they can to help the industry out by making their own, opening their own comic book store, and bringing in new readers. Seth Rogen has said he's a big Marvel fan. The creator of Danny Phantom, he's a fan of comics, and you can see it in his work. So this whole thing with celebrities coming into comics, and I think people are getting kind of mad or whatever because it's been happening a lot recently, and like I said, they kind of feel like, hey, what are these guys doing coming into our secret club? Some fans kind of feel like that. I'm not saying all do, but a lot of them do. Kind of like how, because comics is pretty much, for right now, it's 80% of a male medium, and when you get the same thing when you're trying to get girls or females into comics, you kind of get that that raised eyebrow going, what the heck are they doing reading this stuff, and some fans kind of feel like they're being invaded upon. Me personally, I welcome it. I welcome new people into comics. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. If we can get new individuals and attract new stuff into comics, that's better for us overall as fans, as people in comics, and retailers and stuff like that, and people alike. So that's kind of my question to you guys. How do you feel about celebrities getting into comics? This is a subject I was talking to when I went to go pick up my comics for the week. I was talking to my comic book store owner, and we just kind of got into a discussion about this, and we pretty much had the same way of thinking. Him being a little bit more against it, just because he thinks that all celebrities are kind of doing it just because it's the end thing. For me, I was just kind of like, hey, not all celebrities are like that. Not all of them are kind of stuck up and they just want to do it as a gimmick. Some of them actually have a passion for this stuff, and that's just the way I feel about it. And with that, I will be out of here.